Hey, what's up, everybody? This is ALBER. I wanted to talk to you today about my new setup, or my two setups, actually, to be precise. I just came back from a little tour, and honestly, I've been pretty happy of how I've been using my machines lately to really actively make music and try to be very practical about it. So, I just went on tour, as I just said, and the only instrument that I got with me, besides my trumpet, which is my main feature of what I do, was just the SP404. So I wanted to just highlight real quick how this was possible to have a super compact set and how I can expand that when I need to. So basically, as I said, my main feature is horn and SP. So I will be probably something similar to a singer-songwriter in a way, or like any kind of soloist, just a singer in general playing over backing tracks. This is like really minimizing what I'm doing greatly, but in a nutshell, that's what's really happening, right? So if I have to play some sort of listening room type of set where I know that my songs need to be streamlined and arranged, I've tried to do that kind of stuff with the Digitect here, and just like sequencing every single part that I want to cue in and moving, working with the SH4D, moving filters and evolving sounds in real time. And that is fun. And I am kind of lucky in a way because I can play with one hand if I have to, but it's also a lot of work and lots of things can go wrong when you're in the heat of the moment. So if I have to play a song from top to bottom, let's say a chorus, verse, chorus, that type of thing, I like to basically have the entirety of the track already bounced from Ableton into the SP. And I do this kind of track with, it's like a live version, a live flip of my music. So it would be maybe something where I let a little bit extra time here and there. It's not maybe as tight as the Spotify version of the track. And I definitely leave room to use the effects in here. Since the effects are really a big part of the SP, they sound amazing and they can give more of a live performance element to your stuff, right? So you do want to, at least for me, it is important to have a hand over the music in what I'm doing. Now, obviously, if the entire track is playing and I only have the SP, sure, I will be somewhat limited with the effects, but you can get into that and you can be creative. Another thing that I like to do is to use the SP internal effects. So I have a, what is it? I have a clip-on mic right here that I use for my horn. There's a condenser mic, and I'm sorry, it's a clip-on cardioid mic, but it requires phantom power. So I do have a tiny, the only other thing that I bring with me, and I'm trying to find something even smaller, but for now, my best bet has been this little audio box that I have tucked out underneath my setup. And so I have the smallest audio interface that I could find, and so this way I can power up the microphone. Audio interface goes inside the SP, and I can also play with the internal effects, which so adds another layer to the 4 buses that you already have on the SP. And clearly this means that you already know what the SP is about, but that extra layer can change things quite a bit, right? You gotta learn what to use and what not to use, and what goes and what doesn't, obviously. But the effects plus the input effects plus my own playing and trying to make songs that are definitely more eventful and arranged, since you do those on Ableton rather than making them live, you do lose some, but you also gain some. So if I have to play, as I was saying before, a 30-minute set, it really makes my show flow much better if I have all those changes, all those things already dialed in, and I only have to worry about playing, which in my case, it's kind of the cherry on top of everything else, right? Another plus thing about having the SP and traveling with it is that I managed to find a crazy bag for real cheap on Amazon. You can look it up if you just write bags for SP404. You can find tons of these, but somebody on Reddit really recommended this bag. It's called Bag Smart. It is exactly the same size as an SP, just slightly bigger. You can pack it with lots of things. It's got like a cable organizer on top. Really love it. Basically, I only have my trumpet case with my horn and this bag. And this was the entirety of my set with which I went on tour. So It was kind of a lot of work to bounce tracks off Ableton because I had to record some of the stuff came directly from this setup I'm using right here, and I had to bounce it into the computer, cut it up, arrange it, make it sound as pretty as possible, and then put it into the SP. So you got to also factor your master effects and what you do with the effects as you go, since the SP definitely does have a sound to it. So you also have to factor that into that. The other way I like to play, when let's say somebody asks me to play, let's say, hey, can you come do 2 hours of music in my bar? I do a bunch of that. It's always trumpet and electronics, but in that case, obviously, it's much harder to go with like a bunch of set songs that you just like start, okay? So in that case, I do like to go up with, in this current setup that you see right now, okay? So with the Digitakt and the SH4D going inside the SP, and so using the SP solely as a mastering tool to apply a DJ effect. Let me demonstrate something real quick here. Right. I can play out with the filter and stuff. I can add some chorus to it. My voice right now is going right inside the SP, so this is like the phaser, right? You can hear my stuff. Delay. Right. So it is a pretty versatile setup, and like this I can cue parts in and out. I can play with the filter if I need to. Obviously everything is more involved, everything is more long play. The only downside of this is that I use the inputs of the SP to get sound going from the Digitakt. I already have a video specifically when I talk about this, so the downside is that I cannot really use the internal effects of the SP, because otherwise it would change the entirety of what you hear, right? The SP is just running sound coming from the Digitakt and the SH4D, but it's not running its own sound. So you cannot really use all those great effects that you have in there using this setup, but you do have much more versatility in terms of time and what you can do if you need to play a lounge set that goes on for a long time. So right now I'm very, very happy. I feel like I'm at that point where the only limitation is what I can think of and how I can streamline it. So it's always a work in progress, and I never stop researching what I can do. And there's like always sometimes there's a new device that could let you go a little further in what you want to do. So far, that still has not been happening, but I'm excited for that day. Maybe I'll sell everything and get that one device. Right now, the thing that will make me change everything would be if I could find a one-stop shop to do the prepared tracks and the long play type of set at the same time. That would really be a dream. But until then, I'm pretty happy with this combo. I can play long time, and I can play a short time, and it's really all my fingertips. It does require a bunch of Ableton work and a bunch of planning, but what doesn't? So I hope that this was somewhat something that you could get any kind of inspiration from doing your sort of live set. I'm very curious to hear how people actually go and play live with their instruments. How do they logistically figure that out? That's very interesting to me, and it's a part of the creativity that goes into playing electronic music. So please let me know in the comments what you think. This is ALBER. Until next time, bye.